All right. Hey, my friends, how are you today? This is the Your Book, Your Voice coffee chat. We do this live coffee chat here every Thursday. Glad you're joining. Glad you're here. Um, Maybe it's your first time tuning in. Awesome. Thank you. Welcome. We broadcast here. We do this live coffee chat on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and of course on Instagram. So we got three uh, platforms here, right? Going on, which is great. So thank you for joining wherever you are watching from. I am an audiobook coach and producer. I specialize in helping nonfiction authors narrate their own audiobook. If you are a nonfiction author and you've published your book, yet it is not in audiobook form, number one, you need to do that. The audiobook world has been and continues to grow and expand, which has been really growing and expanding over the last several years. And if you're not in that market, you're missing out on a bunch of people who may not have discovered you as an author, may not have discovered you as the author brand or your products, your book or books. So you got to get your book in audiobook form. Now, I'm a big advocate that all nonfiction authors need to narrate their own audiobook. You have to do it in your own voice, because again, no one can tell your story better than you. And the reason why I picked today's topic, which is, hey, it's your voice, right? Love it or hate it. We're going to talk about that because that's just something that's been coming up a lot recently. I've been guesting on several podcasts over the last few weeks, and this is a topic that we've discussed quite a bit. So I think it's worth it to talk about it here on the Coffee Chat. Before we dive into this, though, I do want to remind you that every Thursday night I do the Your Book, Your Voice podcast, and we have a great guest for tonight, Vince Warnock, who is not only a best-selling author, but he is a neuromarketing coach. What's that? Well, you got to tune in and find out. Now, we do the podcast live, okay? This isn't pre-recorded. This is why I love doing lives, because you can participate. You can ask questions. You can call in. It's a great way to have your questions answered. And, again, even if you're not an author, you're going to really love what Vince has to say, especially about neuromarketing. It's pretty fascinating. So I'm really excited to have Vince Warnock on the show tonight. It is at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time on the Bold Brave TV YouTube channel, okay? Go to their YouTube channel, you click live, and then has all their streams that are happening. And join me, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time. We do this live, so join me, okay? Now, the links are the link to join the show live. I did put it in the description on YouTube and also on LinkedIn. For those of you on Instagram, of course, you can always go to my profile page and click on the link on my profile page, and where it says join the podcast live, you can click right on that and join the podcast there as well. Matter of fact, on Instagram, I put all the great things that you need to know about regarding my coaching business, and freebies and all that stuff are on that one link on Instagram. And of course, for those of you on LinkedIn and YouTube, I also put down in the link a couple of things. First of all, I have an audiobook narration reference guide that is my gift to you that you can download, which gives you various tools and techniques on how to do a great audiobook narration in your own voice. Again, Instagram, you know where to go. My profile page, click on that link and grab it, all right? You can also go to my website at robertlanecoaching.com because everything is there as well. So check that out. Also, the other thing that I wanted to, what I want to share with you here, I wanted to share with you this, and that is, if you are a nonfiction author and you've just even toyed with the idea of turning your book into an audiobook, which you need to do, and you need to narrate it in your own voice, then let's have a conversation about it. Again, those of you on Instagram, you can always go to my profile page, click on the link, and everything is there. If you'd like to schedule a call, for example, and find out more about the Your Book, Your Voice audiobook coaching program, I might be happy to speak with you, get you enrolled, and guess what? You can set up your own recording space, narrate your audiobook, have your audiobook uploaded for publication in 6 weeks. That's all it takes. So schedule your call. That's the first step. I always talk to all the authors that enroll into the audiobook coaching program. I do talk with you first before I enroll because, again, I'm a big proponent of setting up a relationship, because it is a relationship. We're working together, all right? And we will be for the next 6 weeks. So it's really important that that you call, we talk. If you resonate with me and I resonate with you, we get you enrolled and you can get your audiobook done in 6 weeks. All right. So our topic today is about loving your voice or hating your voice. You know, I have that graphic that I put on the thumbnail about the coffee chat. It's like, oh, because that's how a lot of people feel. A lot of people feel like, oh man, you know, I just hate my voice. I don't like how I sound. I don't think I have what it takes to do a great narration. And that is so not true. So we need to crush that fear. We need to crush that false belief. And, you know, it is a fear. It's a type of fear. So you need to crush it, all right? You need to understand that your author brand, first of all, you are a brand. You're an author brand. You published your book. It's out there in the world. You got this great nonfiction book for people to read. Now you need to tell your story in your own voice. That is who you are, all right? So your voice is part of your author brand. That's part of what encompasses who you are. So it is so important for you to tell your story. Now remember, you've written this book, especially if it's a memoir, or if you're a coach or an entrepreneur or an educator or a teacher, or maybe even a poet. You need to narrate your own audiobook because no one can tell your story better than you. No one can teach your coaching program better than you. No one can recite your poetry better than you. That's why you need to narrate your own audiobook. Now, you need to love your voice. Why do you not like your voice? Okay, well, let's start it this way. And I'm guilty of this too. First time I heard my voice, not this way, but from a recorder, having it played back, I was like, oh, that's what I sound like? Ooh, yeah, that's bad. But you know what? It really isn't. It really isn't. Because we really are hard on ourselves when we are judging ourselves, all right? We put a lot of pressure on ourselves. And you don't need to do that. You need to just love and embrace this wonderful sound that comes out of your body because, again, that is who you are. Matter of fact, I'm going to toast because this is coffee chat, right? We got our brew here. We definitely do. Let's see. Today's cup is, let's see, you're seeing the graphic on the back. Here we go. Learning Channel. This is a Learning Channel cup, which is, wow, this is pretty old. Does the Learning Channel even exist anymore? It doesn't. It's still around. I don't know. I haven't worked in the cable industry in many, many, many years. So, but I got this at a cable convention. Anyway, just wanted to toast to you for being awesome human beings and for being a great nonfiction author and for toasting you as well for being an entrepreneur because you are. You wrote and published your nonfiction book. You are now an entrepreneur. So cheers. Nothing like the elixir of life. Ah, good stuff. Love it. All right. So if there is a reason why you don't like your voice, maybe it is something that you've experienced and dealing with authors who've gone through the audiobook coaching program, we do talk about loving our voice, being confident in our voice. And many times the author has shared with me that there was an experience that happened with them that was traumatic. In a sense, right? It was traumatic because what happened was it just ingrained this fear into their psyche. Now we got to get rid of that. We don't want that in your subconscious, okay? And I get it. You know, like when I was a kid, when I was first learning how to play guitar, you know, my parents would have these parties and my mom would be like, oh, you know, you got to play guitar, play something, sing something, whatever. And I was not comfortable doing that. And it just really was, in a sense, a traumatic experience. So I didn't like performing, but I got over that, luckily. But you know, again, same thing. Sometimes a microphone, right? This microphone, putting it in front of your face, can cause some uncomfortable feelings. But remember, your voice is part of who you are, and understand this. And this is what you need to just love and embrace and accept. What this wonderful sound that comes out of your body is part of who you are. That is what makes you unique. That is how you stand out in a crowd. All right? That's how you stand out. Because What makes you unique is you. This is why you narrate your own audiobook. So love your voice, love that sound, because that allows you to, as I say, stand out in the crowd. People will recognize your voice and know that it's you, and they'll want to listen to you tell your story. When you wrote your book, you put your heart and soul and your blood, sweat, and tears into creating this story that, again, the core reason of why you wrote your book is in the written word. And your unique style, which is your unique voice, is in your written word. It's already there. It's already there. So what you are doing when you are narrating your audiobook is bringing it to life, bringing your author brand to life in a voice that is yours, that again allows you to stand out in the crowd. That's why you need to narrate your own audiobook. So don't hate your voice. Your voice is great, all right? What if Marge Simpson did an audiobook? Would that grind on you? Actually, I would probably enjoy listening to it because it's just entertaining to me. And to hear Marge Simpson tell a story, it's great. You know, Julie Kavner is a great actress. When I was working at 20th Century Fox, I ran into her many times. A matter of fact, The Simpsons recorded in the building that I worked in. The voiceover stage was there. All the actors came in. I got to see and meet them all. Really cool people, and that's just Julie Kavner's voice. But of course, she accentuates it more, of course, for Marge Simpson. But the point is, it's her personality and her sense of humor and just everything about her that makes it a great voice. Same thing applies to you. It's everything about you that makes you have a great voice. So love and embrace and appreciate this wonderful sound that comes out of your body. Don't hate your voice. Love your voice. And remember, as a nonfiction author, you are the only person who is most qualified to narrate your audiobook. You are. No one else is. No one can replicate you. Not another narrator, and definitely not AI. Don't cut corners. Don't cheapen your author brand by going AI. That is not you. That is a misrepresentation of who you are, and that just takes you down several notches in regards to your professionalism and expertise, especially if you're a coach. All right? Don't do it. All right? And of course, again, another narrator, no matter how great they are, technically they're great. Professional narrators are fantastic, but it's their interpretation, not your interpretation. This is your story. No one can tell your story better than you, period. All right? So do me a favor, all right? Book a call with me. I'd love to speak with you, find out more about your book, and, again, it's your story. No one can tell your story better than you. That's why you wrote your book in the first place. I've had authors who've gone through a cancer and shared their journey. An author who went through a religious cult and shared her journey. No one can tell their story better than that author because they experienced it. This is why you narrate your own audiobook. And again, don't forget to grab the free narration reference guide. That's a free download. There's a link on my profile page on Instagram. Of course, we have a graphic here on YouTube and LinkedIn, and it's also in the description as well. Grab yourself a free copy of that. And again, book a call if you are serious, and you should be because you are an author brand, about turning your book into an audiobook. First step is just scheduling a call with me. I want to tell you more about the Your Book, Your Voice audiobook coaching program. I teach you how to set up your own recording space. I provide you with the equipment. I send you a professional microphone, headphones, everything you need, and it is yours to keep. That's part of the program. And then we go over the fine art of narration, how to be compelling, how to be engaging, how to keep your audience on the edge of their seat from opening credits to closing credits. All right? Schedule your call. No obligation, right? I want to make sure that I resonate with you and you resonate with me. Enroll in the program and you can have your audiobook recorded, narrated, and ready for publication by the end of the 6-week program. And as always, you can always go to robertlanecoaching.com to find out more about what I do as an audiobook coach and producer. Now, if there's any topics that you'd like me to talk about regarding the audiobook world or about dealing with fear, or about your voice, any of that, love to hear from you. You can always message me, DM me, put it in the comments. Whatever you like to do, would love to hear from you. Okay. So don't be afraid to reach out, and then I'll be happy to talk about those topics. All right. Now, one more thing before we wrap things up for Coffee Chat today is this. Thursdays are like live days. I love it. All right. So join me tonight for the Your Book, Your Voice podcast as we do it live. This is your opportunity to call in, to go into the chat, to talk to my very special guest, Vince Warnock, who is a best-selling author and a I got to make sure I pronounce that right, neuromarketing coach, which is a fascinating concept. And I'm looking forward to really diving in deep with Vince about this and sharing about his experiences of writing his best-selling books. A really, really great guest. And I'm looking forward to having you join me tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time on the Bold Brave TV YouTube channel. Again, the links are in the description on LinkedIn and YouTube. And of course, on Instagram, go to my profile page. Everything is there. Click on that link. All this is there. All right. Okay, my friends, that's going to wrap it up for Coffee Chat. Thank you so much for hanging out. Love doing this. Again, if you have any topics you want me to cover, this is open forum, man. I just want to be able to share whatever knowledge I can to help you narrate your own audiobook. Remember, as a nonfiction author, you are an author brand. Don't cut corners. Don't cheapen your brand. You need to narrate your own audiobook because nobody can tell your story better than you. All right. So again, cheers to you, my friends. And finally, as always, I do this with all my lives that I do. Whenever I'm live, I always give you an assignment when we wrap things up, and that is when you're out and about in the world, smile at a stranger, say hello to them, give them a compliment, because that small gesture of kindness can make the world of difference in somebody's life. So be a life changer, all right? We need more positivity in this world, and you can do it by doing a simple thing like smiling at a stranger and telling them hello. All right. That's your assignment. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the Your Book, Your Voice Coffee Chat. I'm here every Thursday at this time. I'm Robert A. Lane, your host for this and your host for the podcast tonight. So make sure you check that out as well. Again, if you are an author and you want to narrate your own audiobook or you want to find out more about it, book a call with me. Links in the description on LinkedIn and YouTube, and of course on Instagram on my profile page. Click that link. All right, let's say goodbye to our LinkedIn and YouTube friends. First, thank you so much for tuning in. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you tonight on the live Your Book, Your Voice podcast.